Cheers. You could have gone with the table tap. I would have appreciated that. I like that one. It's the Reluctant Somm with the Angry Somm himself. Very excited to have you here. I think that you're doing a lot for our industry, and I kind of love the energy behind what you're doing. But if you could take a minute, just introduce yourself to everybody really quickly.
Yeah, my legal name is Hayden Stewart, but I'm probably best known as the Angry Somm, underscores between the and angry and Somm. Been kind of commiserating for a while with a lot of the wine industry folks that I've connected with online, but it's become a lot more vast and I would say humorous. I take my job very seriously, but I make sure I'm not taking the subject itself too seriously.
Right. Yeah. I think that's the most important thing about wine in some cases, right? So aside from your social media influence that you have, you work in restaurants as well. Do you want to enlighten everybody as to where you work and kind of like maybe your background?
Yeah. Well, I've touched on just about every facet that the wine industry has to offer as far as careers go. I've done everything starting off as a brand ambassador, just doing little tastings here and there for companies. Then got into sales and distribution. I became my own broker for a while, completely fell on my face. And then kind of learned from that, went into larger distribution with bigger distributors, bigger portfolios. Started learning the economics of wine. Took a break, managed a tasting room and wine club for a while. Then got back into distribution with a focus on Southern Hemisphere imports. Worked on the supplier side for a while. And then just got bored and wanted to get into the hospitality side of things. So the past few years I've been working as a sommelier and beverage director, currently working as the food and beverage director for the Farms Country Club in Rancho Santa Fe, and I'm day 5 right now.
Awesome,
so
okay.
Revamping their entire wine program. It's fun, I gotta say. My pride and joy behind what I currently do is definitely just broadening the horizons of my consumers. We get cornered into drinking a lot of the same things over and over again. By we, I mean kind of wine civilians, general public. And I have had a heck of a time, very enjoyable time going tableside, telling the story about these a little bit more avant-garde kind of wines, but always with an understanding of who my audience is, what their expectation of wine is, and how I can meet and exceed that with something they've never tried before.
And when you're talking about that, does that tie into as well the previous work that you were doing within the Southern Hemisphere? Because I feel like for the most part, when you go to most restaurant wine lists, it's Napa, Sonoma, Barolo, Bordeaux, and you're hitting all those classic boxes, but I feel like there's never enough of an emphasis on Southern Hemisphere wines.
Oh, I absolutely noticed that when I was in the sales and distribution of it.
Sorry.
Everybody needs a Malbec on their list. They need a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
Yes, yeah.
If you're lucky, they might request from, some Barossa Shiraz or Chilean Carmenere. There are these main categories that, whether they're top sellers or not, I find it necessary to have in your wine program, whether you're a retailer or a restaurant, but you have to know how to sell it as well. Right. So for me, these are all, new world regions in which I can take your average private club, country club golfer palate, who just wants Napa Cab and Sonoma Chardonnay with egregious amounts of oak, and introduce them to some really interesting, just beautiful wines. As an example, if I have the time to provide one, we all know Rombauer.
We all know Rombauer.
It is the pinnacle and the standard for buttery, oaky Chardonnay. And when I go table side and start helping people with the wine list, and they request Rombauer. Yes, I do have it on my list, by the way. Shocking, I know.
No, I don't think it's shocking.
When people request it, I bring them the bottle to the table, but I always have a second bottle in hand. So recently, it has been El Enemigo, which is kind of a passion project of the head winemaker at Catena, Alejandro Vigil, I believe his name is.
I think so,
And it's made in a similar style. It's relatively old vine, Simeon, a lot of malolactic fermentation, use of new oak. They even age a portion of it biologically like you do Fino Sherry.
Wow.
And then blend that back in. So it is a very complex, very interesting wine, but I understand that my table has an expectation. I could pour them the best wine in the world. If it doesn't meet their expectation, it doesn't matter. So they want Rombauer, they want unctuous, rich, creamy, Chardonnay. If I can sell them on the Simeon, if I can tell the story, and if I could be interesting enough to where, and I will offer satisfaction guarantees with my customers. If you don't like it, you don't have to drink it. I'm not going to charge you for a bottle or a portion of it. That's on me.
Right.
I've never had to return a bottle.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's what you need to do as a sommelier. Otherwise, don't hire a sommelier. Just have your servers do the job and just take requests.
Just put things on the menu that are everywhere. I mean, there's so many places I go, I see that. It's like every wine on the list is in the grocery store, which is great. You don't need a somm. You can save yourself a little bit of labor. But you also get into that same conversation of, hey, this is in the grocery store shelf at this price. Well, is that really where you want to compete? Not me.
No, I think you're kind of undermining your audience as well. You don't think they're creative enough, adventurous enough to indulge in things outside of the, 5 wines they're familiar with?
Yeah, and creating a memorable experience, I think, is really incredible as well. But, your discussion about kind of like achieving their expectations, and somebody used this term a while back, and I love it, subverting their expectations, I think is so important, and I think it's truly kind of the part of the job that often gets overlooked.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one of the things I relate to a level of success in my day job is when I have learned somebody's palate well enough to where they just come up to me and say, hey, I need a bottle of wine at this price point. I'm having, the rack of lamb. Go.
Yeah.
Or because I operate a retail program as well where I work, it's like, hey, I'm having a barbecue. I need 2 cases of red and a case of white. Here's my budget. Like, fire away. Yeah. That means that I have done my job as a sommelier in understanding what my consumer is most interested in, and it gives me free reign to do, it's like I jokingly say, it's like I got you cornered. Right. You're drinking what I'm going to recommend. Yeah. And I'm confident enough in what I do to where I promise you're going to like it.
Right. Yeah. So let's shift gears really quickly and let's go back to the social media side of things. How many hours a week are you dedicating to what you do? Because every time, I don't know where you come up with all of the creativity, because there's so many things that you post that have me rolling and my friends send back and forth to each other. Are you coming up with all of this off the cuff? Are you like sitting down? Are you like sketching it out? Or where does all of it come from?
The algorithm is very moody. And I've not the most up to date on what it's doing, what mood it's in. And so there are times when I used to post every day. Right. And it didn't matter whether it was something that I found really funny or interesting. I just needed to get a post out there to appease the algorithm. And I stopped doing that. Right. Because I started thinking, well, if I'm not a follower and I'm going onto this page to see what kind of material this person produces, and I'm seeing trash posts every other one, I'm not going to be that interested. Right. Because at the end of the day, my current audience is going to continue paying attention to me no matter how, frequent or infrequent I post. It's the newcomers that I want to leave the best possible impression with. And so I would say I used to probably spend half hour a day, if I'm really racking my brain over a particular subject, maybe over an hour. It doesn't consume me, but now I've kind of reduced it down to bathroom breaks.
Well,
No, no. I'd say that I probably put maybe about 2 hours a week
Yeah.
into it these days,
that's great.
and at least the quality of my material is maintained, and the audience that I'm attracting knows exactly what they're getting into, because when you post every day and you're just throwing spaghetti
Spitballing.
at the
Yeah,
wall,
yeah.
seeing what sticks,
Yeah.
you end up with the wrong audience.
Right.
And so I think there is something to say about the quality of an audience versus the quantity. I much rather have 30,000 followers who are genuinely, interested in the material I'm producing and want to, share what I preach, versus having 100,000 followers who just bitch and complain in the comment section.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think there's a certain level of sustainability that comes from authenticity as well, because you're doing something that you enjoy, that you find humorous, versus just, again, like you said, trying to appease the algorithm.
Yeah, that has backfired,
Yeah.
I will say.
Yeah. Well,
Standing my ground.
yeah.
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
Not everybody's proud of me.
I'm proud of you. So we have a quick segment here where I'm going to ask you two questions. Question one, any piece of advice you'd give to people that are new to our industry?
Those who are new, I would say, whether you are in sales or distribution, or you're on the hospitality and service side of things, know your audience, know their strong points, their weak points, what their general knowledge is, because that is going to help you in not just building your business, developing revenue, but helps you make recommendations. The whole point of a sommelier is to broaden the horizons of wine drinkers. If you're just taking orders, anybody could do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you want to work on your personal profession, your personal growth. Find a niche. That's something that's been helpful to me. And essentially, learn who you're talking to.
Yeah, love that. And any piece of advice you'd give for people who've been in the industry for a long time?
Ooh, usually I'm asking advice from them,
Right.
But I would say for those who have been in the hospitality sommelier side of the industry for a long time, or those who are in the distribution side and sales, don't get stuck in old habits. Part of the reason why I think this industry is struggling right now as far as sales go has nothing to do with the younger generation not drinking wine. They are. But it's how we've marketed wine, and it's been exactly the same for like 40 years. We haven't made any adjustments trying to attract the attention of a younger audience. And so my bit of advice for the veterans out there is do your job in providing, meaningful, compelling, interesting stories about wines, showing people what's new and why they should continue to explore the wine industry, because it's a fascinating subject that becomes very boring and very dreary if you don't know how to present it.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. I love that. Thank you. Awesome. Before we wrap it, do you want to take a sip of this wine? Tell me what you think. If you want to shoot for a blind, you can shoot for a blind.
You know what? I don't drink.
You don't drink?
I've never had wine before.
What?
Of course.
Let's do
of
it.
course.
Especially El Enemigo Simeon. Actually, that's what I have for you here. No.
No. So, are you going to join me?
Sure.
Go through the grid?
Can if you want.
I won't.
My glass is almost empty. I've been drinking more than I've been tasting, but we'll do a little reveal later on.
Well, on the nose, very citrusy. I get a geosmin, kind of like new rain, wet concrete, kind of aromatic to it. It's not particularly floral, but there is something towards the very end that kind of reminds me of like, not quite as perfumey as like gardenia, but something kind of in the realm of like honeysuckle, citrus blossom.
I like that kind of like white flower call, yeah.
no offense to the wine, because it is good, but it's kind of vague in character.
Mm-hmm.
There's not any single standout characteristic that's making me think it's obviously a particular region or varietal.
Mm-hmm.
It does have a little bit of these aromatics that remind me of, I would say, like northern Italian Rieslings, Alto Adige, Sylvaner. There's something very, very familiar here. But there's a bit more body to it than I was expecting, given the texture, the bit of phenolics, the acidity.
Well, the most important thing is, as long as you enjoy it.
Shot in the dark, I would say mid-shelf, Swartland, Chenin Blanc.
Cool.
South Africa, maybe.
Okay.
Probably not.
Keep you posted. Awesome. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you. Glad I caught you on the way out. And enjoy the rest of your SommCon.
Appreciate it. Thank you,
Cheers.
man.